debunk it now. Yep, and Leon made a prison video, and he said we can debunk it. So yay, let's go debunking Z-Dog's prison.
And this is one of the coolest prisons I've ever seen. It's equipped with deadly traps, really interesting puzzles, and much more. Stick around till the end of the video to see if I can escape. Anyways, let's start the video. Right as soon as I spawned in, I was inside of a bedrock box. I started instantly by looking around me. It didn't.
If I was speedrunning that, then I would instantly break the doors, but he still did that, so whatever.
It didn't look like there were any secret passages or secret items, and in front of me there were two double iron doors. Luckily, I don't actually have to do anything except break them. After breaking the iron doors, I walked down the hallway to find a couple of items: a furnace, chest, brewing stand, and a cauldron. I walked over and decided to open up the chest. Inside the chest were random items, but after observing them further, I realized that I might actually have to make a potion. But there was one problem with that. I didn't have any fuel. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself why I would actually need fuel. Well, you see, the sand in my inventory actually looks like it's to make glass bottles. After that, I can use the brewing sand to make awkward potions and then create a potion of slow falling using my fancy memory that I have. After exploring...
Actually, he does have fuel, because look at his inventory. He has a chest. And if I'm pretty sure that you can use a chest for fuel, and then he can do his thing to make slow falling potions, and that's why it's there. So that's the first debunk.
In the other room, I walked into the next room, which was really big. If I fell, then I most likely wouldn't be able to get up. It had a weird bedrock platform and some lava, and a very thin pathway with iron bars on the very top. It also appeared to look like there was a zombie, but there was really nothing I could do in that room right now, so I jumped into the next room. After jumping into the next room, I looked around, and all I found was this one glass block. I decided to pick it up to see if there was any...
Now, you have 4 blocks, not including the chest, because you don't have that anymore. But since that would be something else, let's just do what he's doing, okay? Yeah, what he's doing.
Under it, but there really wasn't anything down there. So I was thinking to myself, what was I supposed to do in this situation? I mean, I'd explored all 3 rooms I was able to get to, so what was I supposed to do? But that was when I realized something. You know how I said earlier I couldn't get down? Well, that wasn't actually true. I was starting to form an idea in my head on what I could do. Now, this may seem crazy to some of y'all, but did you know lava can actually negate fall damage? I'm not talking about if you try to MLG with it.
But the first way I thought of that was a different way. Let me tell you. So, what he did, let me just show you.
But it kind of works the same with water. If I jump into it in the very side of it, it'll actually slow me down, but I have to get out of it before I get burnt alive. So this might be my only option.
There's actually a way simpler way to do that. Let me explain. There's a way simpler way. So what you need to do is just jump into the lava, leave the game, join that, and then you'll have 3 seconds of fire resistance. I've learned that from Canadian. 3 seconds of fire resistance, and you can do that instead of doing something way harder. So yeah, second debunk.
And just like that, I was successfully able to land in the very bottom part of the lava and avoid taking too much damage. Once I was finally at the bottom, I decided to look around. I then looked to my left and actually saw a sign that said "Place boat here." That was a huge hint. That was implying that I would need a boat. After looking at the sign, I walked to the corner of the room and noticed a zombie that was called Canadian's Friend. I put down one of my sands and got a better look at it, and it actually looked like it was covering something.
You do not have to. There's a way simpler way to find that out. It's not that important. Still the same thing, but again, it would make the speedrun faster. Just immediately kill the zombie. That simple, and then it'll easily do it. So yeah. Second debunk that would only make it faster. Let's keep watching.
And after I hit it a few times, it turns out it was actually stepping on top of a pressure plate. I decided to try to kill it because it looked like it was activating something that I would need to deactivate later if I wanted to continue this prison. After I killed the zombie, I decided to pick up the rotten flesh, so whatever was being activated would no longer be activated, but that's when I noticed a hole in the wall that had a chest at the very end of it. I decided to open it, and I found 7 wind charge inside of it, and that's when I realized that's how I would get back up. If you don't know what the wind charge is, it basically gives...
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip through it because I don't want this to be too long.
And land on the bedrock platform using my wind charges.
So yes, everything he did is true. The lava thing wasn't correct.
I successfully made it back up, and sure enough, when I walked back into the second room that I had found, there was a sapling sitting right on the ground that it came out of it
to make
the dispenser in the ceiling above. I then made my way back to the room where the dirt block was and got ready to grow my tree.
Grow your tree
so I could make my bow. I boned the sapling until it grew into a tree, and not only was I able to get some sticks and wood from it, but I was also able to get some saplings in case I needed more wood in the future. I also took the dirt/grass block with me in case I would need to plant.
I don't know why he did it plus just block, whatever it's dirt.
It's a tree later, and had some leftover bone meal in the process. After getting back to the second room, I broke my crafting table and then hit my sanding furnace so I could make a glass bottle in hopes to get a slow-falling potion for whatever I would need that for later.
Or you can just craft a boat and save many more materials.
Once my glass was ready, I then set down my crafting table and proceeded to craft my glass bottles, and then I went over to the cauldron, filled them up with the water, and put them in the brewing stand. Then I took the netherwort that was in the chest originally, and started to turn my water bottles into awkward potions. In the meantime, I decided to check out the suspicious looking crafting table that was in the 1x1 hole. I couldn't walk into it, so I had to craft some random trapdoors to get inside of it, so I could get inside crawl mode. Once my trapdoor was ready, I flipped it.
You may not, I'm not sure, but you may not have to make a trapdoor. I can't remember if you can just craft stuff from there or not, but just a maybe.
And I went into crawl mode and then crawled forward to see what was behind the crafting table. Yeah, so I don't really know what happened to the footage, but it got corrupted or something, but spoiler alert, there is nothing behind the crafting table.
Serious?
After I got my slow falling...
I don't know how he lost the footage, because it looks like it's just in like one part of the video. Like, he accidentally deleted while he was editing. But like, when he was recording it, he didn't know what she didn't know what was gonna get edited in, so... Yeah. I've also noticed more things of it being fake, but you know... Maybe not. Maybe it's me that's getting it all wrong.
Potions, I was sure to break every single block in the room because I might need it later on throughout the prison. After checking and grabbing everything, I returned to the room and got ready to land in the lava so I can negate folding. I didn't want to waste a slow falling potion just yet, so I got ready to jump off, and sure enough, once I was ready, I leaped off the platform, hit the lava below.
Again, you can just pause your inventory, leave 3 seconds of fire resistance. But wait, I just noticed something else. It's another thing, that the same inventory trick also gets rid of 3 seconds of fall damage. You can just like jump, pause your inventory, and then get back in. So yeah, you didn't have to do any of that too. That was a mistake that I made of debunking. That would be way faster than the lava thing. So yeah, that's me. Sorry.
Below and landed on the ground safe and sound. Once I was on the very ground level, I waited for my fire damage to wear off, and then I walked over to where the sign was. I was sure to break the sign because, while it may seem surprising, some of the simplest items can have quite a few use later on. So after I broke it, I got ready and placed my boat. Now, some of you might be confused on how boat is all. There's actually a really cool trick you can do with a boat. See, if you have a corner that looks like this, you can actually face through any block, whether it's grass or sidewalk, or even a barrier or canal. As long as you have a boat and a corner just like this, you're able to face through it. So that's exactly what I did. Okay, this next room is huge. I know a lot of you probably don't even know what or how this is, but this is with no mods or even commands. This is what's known as an infinity room, and it looks unescapable until you realize, oh, it's just an item frame map. Yeah, so the way this works is you build a giant platform out of the snow, and basically after you map.
I don't think you have to use snow. Yeah, I don't think you have to use snow. I think you can just do white concrete. I don't know why she specifically said snow. Sorry,
This is Minecraft.
I accidentally left.
Oh, and basically after you map it out on the item frames, it looks as if the room goes forever. A very cool trick, but also a very good illusion to make it look like the room goes forever. But the escape to this room is actually really simple. I continued to break more item frames until it revealed a room behind glass which can be easy to break, but it still didn't leave yet. I was sure to collect all the item frames and maps because there might be secrets behind them, and I might need them for later. After I collected all of them, I broke the glass and continued into the next room. The next room was weird. It was really big, and all it seemed to have was a chest with a water bottle inside, but this would actually be very useful and handy. I searched around the room, but all I could really find was 1.1 block hole that I could only get into by either A using my trap doors or B using my water bucket. After deciding to go inside the hole, I started going into crawl mode and started exploring. I kept crawling through the area I was in. It looks like some sort of maze I could only access through by crawling. I kept crawling until I noticed an area that caught my eye. It was an area with cobwebs. While it didn't make me fall slower, I realized I could actually collect it. I went back to the big weird room I found at the beginning and crafted a wooden sword using some wood that I had from the tree earlier. Then, after crafting my sword, I broke the cobwebs and was able to get 4 string from it, the perfect amount to make a block of wool.
Spoiler alert, you don't need that block of wool because you just for the intended way. But we're trying to make this like a Canadian debunk, which means that no intended way. But yes, I understand intended way. But you know what? Maybe that actually wasn't the intended way. Maybe it actually wasn't the intended way, and it was just supposed to be a distraction, you know? Because he is wasting a lot of materials. Although in the beginning it looked like I was wasting materials, was me doing it, but no. It's starting to become the G-Dog. Okay, let's get back to the debunk. Oh, it's saved. Nice.
I kept crawling through the tunnel until I noticed an area that had command blocks at it. I was assuming that this is where I had to go, but I was still sure to check every single area of the tunnel to make sure I wasn't missing any critical items that I may need later for the escape. After that, I decided to make my way down the hall, and then I stepped on a pressure plate which was on top of the command block. After I was teleported, I realized that all of my items out of my inventory had been taken except my water bucket and the 4 string that I had. And then that's when I saw the exit to the prison. I would finally be able to get out. I did have a water bucket, but I decided I was going to escape this prison the way it was intended. So I took my string and crafted the little block I needed to get up on top of the platform so I could get out. The last thing I needed to do now was MLG outside the prison so I could finally escape.
And he escaped the prison. So yeah, that's my debunk. I hope you enjoyed. It's just, yeah, that's the debunk. Hopefully I said it loud enough unlike last video. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.